Oh, my title? It's YouTube, so, we just make them up around here. But you can call me Dr. Boss Lady Mortgage Nerd, Chief YouTube Officer, Cat Lady, Esquire, PhD, MBA. Oh, you meant my housing title? Right, yeah, let me find that real quick. Title or deed? People mix up these words all the time. And turns out, while related, they are not the same. Like me and my siblings. We know who the favorite is. For starters, a title isn't a document or even anything physical at all. It's just an intangible collection of rights involving a home. When you have title to a home, you can choose who can enter, what you want to do with it, and so on. It gives you both a claim to a property and ownership rights. Then there's the deed. The deed is the physical document that transfers legal ownership and therefore title between properties. When you buy a house, the seller will sign the deed over to you, and then it's filed with the appropriate government office for your county, proving you now have the title. Get it? Title equals the rights you have when you own a home. Deed equals proof you have those rights. Now that we have that out of the way, let's talk more about titles, since that's where the fun is. Holding a title gives you a bundle of rights. Not absolute rights, but rights. Your title rights are as follows. Right of possession, aka it's yours, baby. Right of control, it's yours to use. Right of enjoyment, go ahead, enjoy it. Right of disposition, you can sell, rent, transfer ownership, whatever. And right of exclusion, if you don't want your ex-best friend stopping over. Then that's your right too, but maybe you should make amends. Now, the reason I said not absolute is that some things can push back on your title rights. For example, a search warrant pushes against your right of exclusion, and HOA fees or liens put limits on your right of control. There are 6 main ways to hold title. Each of them affect ownership and the rights that go with it. Sole ownership is exactly what it sounds like. One owner is the sole holder of the title and all the rights associated with it. This type of ownership is for the single people, or if you're married but would rather keep things to yourself. Arizona, California, Texas, and a few other states are known as community property states. In these ones, if either spouse buys anything, well, that thing legally becomes both of yours. If a couple buys a house, they both hold title. Some states have right of survivorship in community properties too. That just means when someone passes away, all their rights to the property go to the surviving spouse. In other states, it's just left up to the will or whatever the laws say to do when there isn't a will. Joint tenancy is a pizza party. You split up an ownership pie into perfectly even slices for all relevant owners. This one also comes with the right to survivorship and is really popular with married couples. Tenancy in common is just like joint tenancy, except those pie slices can be whatever size you want. Maybe someone has 75% and someone else has 25%. You get the same basic rights, but the equity split is different. This is popular with unmarried couples and doesn't include the right to survivorship. Tenancy by the entirety is only for married couples in certain states, but this means the couple is viewed as a single unit in the eyes of the state and includes the right of survivorship. Plus, both spouses need the other's permission before they can do anything with the property. Living trusts give ownership to, well, the trust, which is just a fancy way to make transferring a property easier after you pass away. It's not all that different from other options until you die. When that happens, the assets in your trust, including your house, will be distributed according to your instructions and can skip the process called probate, which means the people you want to get the house get it faster. It's important to be extra cautious during this phase of home buying. Title searches and insurance are invaluable. One of the worst things that could happen when buying a home is waking up to the realization that the title transfer wasn't clean. Say somewhere along the life of a house, someone sold the home when it actually was supposed to be given to an heir. Then you show up, fall in love with the house, and buy it. A few years go by, and bam! Out of nowhere, some heir shows up and demands their house back. They could actually win that case. Or a more common example, if the house has outstanding debts or liens, you could be responsible for that debt. Title searches analyze the history of the title and make sure there is no funny business. Title insurance protects you against any defects in a title that you weren't aware of. Paying for title search and insurance is the best way to make sure you protect yourself against any random title claims. If you're financing with a mortgage, they're required and will be rolled into your closing costs. If you think it's silly for buyers to pay for an owner's title insurance policy, then you're not alone, which is why sellers usually pay for them, often as a show of good faith. In some parts of the country, the seller usually pays the buyer's title insurance, and the buyer pays the lender's title insurance. The buyer also tends to pay the recording and title search fees. In other states, it's the reverse. We've got articles on specifics too, like everything in life. All of this can be negotiated, and it usually is between the two real estate agents. You'll find the complete breakdown of who is paying for what in your closing disclosure before you wrap up the deal. In short, you don't want a house with hidden baggage. It's way worse than emotional baggage, believe me. This is why at Rocket Homes, we like to say, just pay the title costs. They can feel like a drag, but the alternative is not owning your home and potentially owing your mortgage on top of it, which would pretty much be the worst thing ever. Ready to find a real estate agent who really gets you and what you're looking for? Find the right agent for you at rockethomes.com. Thanks for checking us out today. If you'd like to see more videos just like this, you know what you can do? Click right here. And always like and subscribe. Guess what? We'll see you next time.